On Crinknail 3, the officers look over the damage and are completely flabbergasted. They can't understand what's going on as they see the hatch door completely torn off its hinges, laying on the ground. Inside, a whole bunch of blood is splattered on the ground, and what's left of a Zrink is still there. This Zrink is known to capture young ones and use them for his own personal reasons if he doesn't sell them off. However, now no one has to worry about this Zrink ever again. Yet, according to the security video, something's wrong. It doesn't make sense. They look over the video and look over the damage again and again and again, and it just doesn't compute. They all look at the video of the Zrink running as fast as he can into this area. They back up to different scenes from different cameras, and they can see that Zrink had actually grabbed a young child and was running away, but was seen by the adult. The adult, a female, ran after them with such speed that usually a Zrink can easily outrun them, but now is realizing that this female is getting closer and closer and closer. No matter how many turns he takes at high speed, his long legs trying desperately to grip onto the walls to allow him to keep running, but it seems as though this female is not slowing down. If anything, the determination in her eyes and the rage that can be seen is just chasing him down faster and faster and faster. Eventually he runs into this hallway to what he might have believed was a safe zone. He ran into the room, hitting the levers and making sure that the door slid into place. One could see, if they slowed down the video, that the Zrink looked at the female and grinned as though it had gotten away. This female reached up to the door, stuck its digits in between, and was able with sheer force to be able to grab it to stop the mechanism from shutting. Not only did she stop it, but with a scream of anger, you can see the door being pushed further and further away, and eventually you see her raise her one foot, one of two from her bipedal form, and suddenly, with unbelievable force, rip the door clean off. Then there's nothing between the Zrink and this female. They had seen these females before, but there's no way they could be this strong. They knew the bio readouts. There wasn't any way that this female had the power to rip this door off. Hell, to stop it alone should have ended all her digits. It should have ripped them off. But now, as they look on the video, it seems as though this female is looking at the Zrink as she walks forward. The Zrink throws the offspring towards the mother, and the mother simply motions and tells the child to wait outside. The Zrink looks, and everyone can hear a sound. A sound that is like a high-pitched squeal. This was the Zrink dropping to its two different knees on each leg, begging this female for its life, begging for forgiveness. It has a compulsion, it says. It's a disease. But this seems not to even faze the female. Many have to look away as she grabs the Zrink, which is usually 9 feet tall compared to this female, grabs it by the throat and begins to thrash it around, tossing it around with uncomparable rage. Some can see, even as the body goes out of view, blood begin to splatter all over. As they watch the video, they turn and look at the room as it is now, and they see the splatter marks still there next to the body, at least what's left of the body. Once everything is over, they watch as this female walks out of the room, covered in blood, seemingly trying to calmly wipe their digits clean, walking up to the child, the offspring, making sure that the offspring is okay, then taking the offspring by the hand and just calmly walking away. They're all confused. This can't be right, but the evidence is right here. How is this even possible? Many of them continue to look for evidence to the contrary, but they can't find any. They still try to find the female, but maybe she's already off-world. They don't know yet. This is an alien species they don't know much about, but they do know the bioscans. This doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. Yet as the other Zrink officers are looking it over, trying to almost beat their heads into the wall, trying to figure things out, an Auric comes in. An Auric looks very similar to this other female species, although Aurics are a very, very dark blue, and the eyes are a sheer green. They're almost scary to look at, as though they simply walk silently, somehow able to move in a way that makes them almost glide. The Auric looks in, looks at the video, and as the Zrink officers ask her, why does she not freak out? Why is this not confusing? She simply says, "Oh, I've met humans before, and I know what they can do." The Zrink officers are surprised. What can they do? How can they do this? Their bio readout says they're not strong enough to do this. How could they do this? Well, that's very simple, the Auric says, as she motions to the back, and here comes the human female with her offspring. The Auric simply turns to the other officers and says, "You don't understand humans at all, do you? They will do anything to protect their offspring, and if you threaten them, you better hope they don't find you, or else this is what happens," motioning towards the dead Zrink as he's in pieces still. They then look at the female human and are confused, and then look down at the young one, who seems to almost be grinning, looking up at the strange mantis-like creatures that are looking down at her, not afraid that one had almost done things to her that they don't even want to imagine. They look at the young one and say, "Is it true that your mother did this?" The little one looked up and said, "Yes, my mother is a bear." This made the human and the Auric both laugh, as the Zrink were absolutely confused. What are they talking about? The Auric, without skipping a beat, says, "Oh, that's a common human phrase. When a mother is protective, when she goes through any lengths to the point of even lifting vehicles several tons off of their offspring and doing things like you see here, they're called the mama bear." She turns to the human and says, "Right, mama?" "That's right," the human said. "If anybody even thinks about hurting my girl, I promise you, they're not going to like my visit." The Zrink officers look at her, look at the Auric, who's nodding up and down, and at that point, they look back into the room that is still dripping blood. "I see," they said. "This is a clear case of self-defense of offspring. You are free to go, ma'am, and please do." With that, the human female turns and walks away with their child in tow, asking if they can stop for something called ice cream, which makes the Auric officer laugh. When the Zrink turn to her and ask, "Why is that funny? Why are they so nonchalant about something so heinous?" the Auric simply says, "Well, you just have to learn about humans. And trust me, you ought to be glad it was her mother. If it was the child's father, he would have ended that Zrink for sure, but he would have taken his time. The mama bears, though, they end up full of nothing but rage, so you might want to put it in your notes. Never, ever get between a human and their offspring." Hello everybody, this is Syntax. Thank you for joining me today on this short story. Now before I go, I need to congratulate our winner for today, which would be Chris Dixon. Also, before I go, I need to send out a great big thank you to the supporters of this channel, And those will be Sir, Prozac and Pancakes, MTF Guard, Erica Gem, and SS Demon. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Everybody else, I'll see you on the next one. This is Syntext, punching out.